How? How do you acquire a standard English accent? Hi, I'm Wayne. I'm going to share with you 5 steps to acquiring a standard English accent. So we're going to start with the basics. Okay, how do you pronounce this word? If you're an English learner, you may pronounce this word as water. But this is a typical non-standard accent in English. There are few ways to pronounce this. I'm just going to demonstrate the American and British, which are water and water, respectively. You can see the significant differences. So the first step in acquiring a standard English accent is to first acquire standard English sounds. If you don't follow certain phonological instructions, you won't be able to master them because you're not used to them, as they are not the same as in your first language. For example, l and r fall into the same category in Japanese, so most Japanese speakers do not know l and r are 2 different sounds and are not able to distinguish between l and r. Also, I and I fall into the same category in Chinese, so most Chinese speakers do not know I and I are 2 different sounds and are not able to distinguish between I and I. These differences are big enough to keep you away from a standard accent. So in order to acquire a standard English accent, acquiring standard English sounds is your first step. Next, do you know that the syllable structure in English is very different from Chinese? Well, it is. The syllable structure in Chinese is so simple. There will only be at most 3 sounds sticking together. On the other hand, there can be up to 7 sounds sticking together in English. For example, strands, glimpsed. This may be a relatively harder part for English learners to adapt to, because the more sounds there are sticking together, the more complicated it is, and the harder it is to pronounce them correctly. Also, depending on which sounds are sticking together, the pronunciations of the sounds change too. For example, if you add an S to the word dog, D-O-G-S, the S will be pronounced as a Z, dogs. Also, prize and price have the same vowel inside the word, but they are pronounced differently. If you listen carefully, you will be able to hear that the vowel in price is shorter. Prize, price. These are nowhere to be found in Chinese. Fortunately, the good news is all of these things are explainable, but you have to first understand the syllable structure in English. So the second step in acquiring a standard English accent is to understand the syllable structure in English. Do you know syllables in English tend to have different weights? This happens in Chinese too, but it's not commonly seen in Chinese as it is in English. Most of the time, different syllables in Chinese have approximately the same weight. I'm going to demonstrate how most Chinese speakers pronounce English words. For example, apple, blanket, wallet. But the correct way to pronounce them in a standard accent are apple, blanket, wallet. You may hear that the a in apple, blank in blanket, and wall in wallet have more weight compared to po, ket, and lit. We call them stress syllables. Stress is a vital factor for accents. Different languages have different stress pattern habits. For example, for an Indian accent, they may be something like apple, blanket, wallet. So the third step in acquiring a standard English accent is to understand how stress is used in English. I bet you have used modal particles like ma, ba if you speak Chinese. These modal particles change how we convey messages. However, there aren't any modal particles in standard English. So if English speakers want to change how they convey a message, they make use of intonation. They tend to use the weight difference between words in a sentence to change how they convey the message. Let's use my name is Wayne as an example. Whose name is Wayne? My name is Wayne. Your what is Wayne? My name is Wayne. Your name really is Wayne? My name is Wayne. What is your name? My name is Wayne. Also, English speakers use tones to change how they convey the message. Yes, there are tones in English. For example, English speakers use a rising tone at the end when they ask a question. For example, you like me? But in Chinese, it'll be something like, you like me, ma? So the fourth step in acquiring a standard English accent is to understand how intonation is used in English. When different sounds and syllables stick together, the pronunciation may be affected. There are a few in Chinese. We call them the tone change rule in Chinese. For example, 不要不要
你好你好
If you don't know these, you won't have a standard Chinese accent. So a similar thing happens in English. For example, thank you, thank you, got you, gotcha. We categorize these as connected speech because they occur when different sounds and syllables are connected. So the fifth step in acquiring a standard English accent is to understand how connected speech is used in English. So let's review the 5 steps in acquiring a standard English accent. Number 1, acquiring standard English sounds. Number 2, understanding the syllable structure in English. Number 3, understanding how stress is used in English. Number 4, understanding how intonation is used in English. Number 5, understanding how connected speech is used in English. If you want a better version of these 5 steps, click the link in the description below to get it. This video ends here. See ya.